comes your way, you are able to execute. You are able to execute it within the stipulated time. To you, you think you are, giving out quality. You think you are, you are the ultimate in the game. Not ready for any upgrade. But for someone that is graded in a low level, has the capacity, the tendency to be upgraded for that. So it is one thing to have low grade. It is not an issue. But having low quality is always a problem. Because, like you said, sustainability is the watchword for every project manager. Sustainability is the watchword. Gathered. Now, we also talk about, when you talk about quality, there are so many words that can be seen to be quality, but yet they are not quality. Hello?
Hi.
Yeah. I said in quality in project management, there are certain words that one can use to think that it is quality, but yet it is not quality. True or false?
True.
Are you getting me? Are we together here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
For example,
Yes, sir. We're together.
all right, let's talk about precision and accuracy. Precision and accuracy. I can be accurate, but I'm not precise. Is it true? That I can be accurate, but I'm not precise.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think it's only Mr. Sunday that is here. We have 14 people here.
We're here.
I hope you are not. Okay. Mr. Ojo, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Alexander, you are welcome. So when we talk about precision and accuracy, yes, sir, I can be precise, but at the same time, I am not accurate. Mr. Ojo, what is your take on that? That I can be precise, but at the same time, I am not accurate. Give us an example to buttress your point.
It's very difficult to describe now. Being accurate and then precise. For me, something so there's just a thin line between both of them. Not precise and accurate. I would like to always think that it's almost impossible for me to be precise and be accurate. But again, I think being precise is to be very, very exact. And to be accurate is to be at the exact point. They are both the same. I find it very difficult to be able to separate them. So you can be accurate and yet precise.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Like you said, you can be accurate, but you are not precise. Let's say, for example, there's this game they call DART. Yeah, DART. We have different rings, and then the last one is a little circle in at the center of it. Have we seen that before? Have we seen that before?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Now we are playing a game. Yeah, to hit the cycle that is in the middle of that cycle. Just to hit that target. Now, if I aim at a near the first ring, I aim at the first ring, you aim at the second ring. The third time, I aim at the fourth, you aim at the third. We are just being what? We are not being accurate with our aiming. The intention is to aim at the circle, not anything around it. So all that we are doing is that we are just being precise. We are just being precise. We are not. It's like saying a near quality, a near target. Yes, let me use that word. A near target. Your intention is to target, not near, not semi near. No, it is to target. So precision is a measure of exactness or measure of reliability. Accuracy is an assessment of correctness. Accuracy is an assessment of what? Of correctness. So we can say in quality that sometimes we were actually close to quality. We were actually close to it, but why did we not hit it? Why did we not get there? The customer is not concerned about you being close to quality. No. The customer is about accuracy. The project manager is talking about accuracy, not answer. I was actually close. I actually got the answer. Why didn't you get it? In an examination, you have questions, maybe mathematical or any other calculation. The examiner is following you step by step, step by step, step by step. The total question is 10, and it has 10 steps, right? Each step is one. Each step is one. Each step is one. The 10 steps plus the overall answer would have given you 10 over 10, but you got it first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and you failed it. You failed the 7, 8, 9, and 10. Are you going to have 10 over 10 or 7 over 10? If you have 7 over 10, that is a pass, not an excellent. In project, you handle a project and you go to a level that, from the foundation or from the preliminary stage, you are getting everything all correct. The intermediary stage, you are getting everything all correct. Getting to almost the completion, you fail. There is nobody that will give you an excellent performance, but rather you would have failed woefully. That is what accuracy is talking about. Precise measurements are not necessarily accurate measurements, and vice versa. Right? So being precise and accurate means hit the target. Accuracy all the time, precision. That is what quality is all about. Being precise and accurate means to hit the target. It is not I almost. We almost scored the goal. Why didn't you score? Hit the target. That is accuracy. That is what every project manager should understand. Then we talk about in project quality, there are people that have come up with different interpretation. To you, as a scholar, as a project manager, your own meaning of project quality might be different from mine, right? The way you interpret it might be different from mine, but at the end of the day, we will all get the same result. No matter how you interpret it, we will get the result unless you do not believe in quality. Mr. Ojo, as a project manager, what is your definition of quality? What does quality mean to you? Briefly, sir.
All right.
We can hardly hear you. Your line is fluctuating.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's
Is
a
it clear
bit
now?
better now.
And
All right.
apologize.
A bit, yeah.
Okay, so for me, quality has to be definition for has to be as exactly as described. Then the grade to which it must be exactly, it must be attained. Then in terms of appearance, it must be there, and every other thing that needs to be done. In terms of following, it must follow. Quality has to do with how was it described, what was the methodology, how were we, how would you get there. So every process that you must follow to get there, and everything must be followed. Quality starts from inception, starts from the process to the final product. So if the process is faulty, the final product definitely is faulty. So that is quality. So for me, quality for me is sticking to the defined method statement, sticking to the defined method statement, and and sticking to the grade which was supposed to be attained, and using the necessary tools, specific tools that are necessary, and specific skills, quality, artisans, and everything. So that is what for me the quality means. You could have
All right.
the best material, and then you are using the wrong set of skills, so you won't get quality.
Mm. Thank you. Fantastic. Ruth, welcome. You want to say something briefly?
No, sir. I'm just joining in now. So I didn't get the
Okay.
question. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's establish these facts. There is one fact that I want us to establish, even if at the end of the day you are not getting anything. But let's get this one: that quality begins with an individual. Quality begins with an individual. You see, Mr. Ojo is a seasoned project manager and engineer for over decades. The truth of the matter is, if Mr. Ojo is someone that does not personally believe in quality, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Even if you talk about quality, he will frustrate your effort. Why? He doesn't believe in quality. That is what should be established, that quality starts, begins with an individual. When you have a conviction as an individual, when you know that this is what it means to you, this is what quality means to you as a person, you will never jeopardize any opportunity to exhibiting what you understand about quality. But if it is not in you, forget it. They only preach it. You cannot do anything about it. Why? It's not in you. You are the project manager, and I'm coming to you, Mr. Ojo. You see, there's need for you to, we need quality products, we need quality delivery, and all that. Since he doesn't believe in it, you know, this one they're talking on. Who quality help? I beg. He can bring in anybody, any employee, any material, any tools, just for that work because he doesn't believe in quality. Just like he said, if you have the best materials and you do not have the best manpower, there's no way quality can be assured. There's no way quality can be assured. So it starts with you and from you. That's why we have fathers of quality management. They've come up with different, ideologies about quality, right? There's one of such is W. Edwards. He said that the new age of quality requires a commitment to continuously improve. The new age of quality requires a commitment to continually what? Improve. So if Mr. Ojo is a seasoned, project manager, engineer, refuses to improve, he say, Mr. Gabriel, you that you are a baby in engineering field, in project management, I have done this for the past 30 years. There's nothing you can tell me. I'm not ready for anything. This is the way I do my things. He's not ready to improve. I can tell you that in the 21st century, in years to come, we would have left him behind because he is not ready for improvement. There is no significant commitment for improvement. That is what W. Edwards Deming is saying, that the new age of quality requires a commitment to continuously do what? Improve. It is very important. It is very important that we improve as much as we can. Some of us must have heard the name Joseph Jurian. He's also one of the fathers of quality management. He says, and I like his own, explanation or definition of quality. He says that quality is simply defined as fitness for use. As simple as that. Quality is defined as fitness for use. Now, if you are to elaborate these statements, I dare you, you can write up to 3 to 4 pages to expatiate the point. But it's just giving us in a little sentence. Quality means fitness for use. And he went ahead developing the Jurian's trilogy that talks about quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. So you can see with this trilogy that he propounded, you can relate it to the statement that quality is fitness for use. Come on, if I've done all my quality planning, but the prototype from the conceptualization process to the execution, we are following the prototype, what the project is actually meant for, the quality that was expected from this project. I've done all my plan, and that includes quality personnel, quality materials, quality equipment, quality everything. How do I source for quality people? How do I source for quality materials? How do I source for quality technology? That is what my quality planning. I have gotten everything. The next is for me to do what? Quality control. How do I ensure that even the people that are coming understand the language of quality? That they take quality as a way of life? That they practice quality? That what is given to them is being used the way it should? That what they are expected to do, they do not do based on this is how I have been doing it. Nobody should tell me what to do. No, they are working based on the prototype, based on the concept. I have done that. The next thing is quality improvement. Okay, having done the control, we are looking at from the expert judgment, maybe from lessons learned, materials or documents, from brainstorming, from meetings and all of that, which happens to be our techniques in what? In quality management. We are able to say, okay, this aspect ought to have been this way. Can we have it done this way to have the better result that is expected? That's exactly what Jurian's trilogy is talking about. Now, once you are able to implement these three, the next thing is that what? The product is fit for use. As simple as that. So, he is the one that says that quality does not happen by accident. It doesn't just happen overnight. You have done everything wrong as a project manager, and you expect to wake up in the morning and see your project having quality. No. If that happens, it is an error. It is an error. Therefore, you must include all of this. We say that quality also is what cost of poor quality. The management or the measurement of quality is price of non-conformance. The measurements of what quality is the price of non-conformance. When we talk about non-conformance, of course, we know what it's all about. It simply says that you are not conforming to the rules, to the standards, to the regulations, to the ethics within the confine of the project. You are not confining. You have gone outside the box. You are not in line. That is what non-conformity. So what this tells us is that for every project that you see that does not have quality, it shows that there was what? A non-conformance. It can be measured by what? Quality of price of non-conformance. There are certain projects that Mr. Ojo will see on the road, you just, without anybody telling him as a professional, you just, these guys, they messed up in this aspect. They did not do this. And when you investigate, you will discover that they actually did not do it. Why? His experience is speaking for him. He's now measuring the product, the project with the non-conformity by what he's seeing, the poor quality of the project. So the performance standard is zero defect. The system of quality is prevention, not appraisal. The system of quality is prevention. Poor quality from the scratch. It is possible to prevent poor quality from the scratch than having it up there and you want to now do an appraisal. No. Mr. Ojo, are we on point?
Yes, we are very much on point.
Yes. It is better for you to have the quality right from the onset. You see, ask people that are into building construction, they will tell you it is better you make your mistake from the scratch and you discover that there's mistake. What will you do? The cost implication, I'm sure you wouldn't want to tell you. So rather than you not even having this, there must be a plan on ground that at every point you are, having a review to ensure that you are on track. The system of quality is prevention, not appraisal. Not appraisal. We say that quality is doing it right the first time. Quality is doing it right the first time. Now, just go to the comment section. The first three people to tell me the three Julians trilogy. Very fast, very fast. Just put it on the comment section there. What are the three Julians trilogy as you have concerning quality? Comment section. We talk about Julian's trilogy. We have them three of that. Let's see if we are following. Okay. Okay. I'm still waiting. The Julian's trilogy. The Julian's trilogy. Anybody? Mr. Ojo, I'm waiting for your answers. Mr. Sunday, Isaac, I'm waiting for your answers. The Julian's trilogy. Now you want to Google it. Ojoro Council. Mr. Sunday, I catch you.
So I'm not doing anything. That's why I'm mute. So I don't want to go to Google.
You are not doing anything. That's why Isaac, you want to Google Abi? I'm seeing
That's why I'm
Oh
mute.
no.
I'm not going to Google at all. It's better I learn from you than to go to Google.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just contemplating on what you say.
Ambassador Patient said that is not Julian's trilogy, Mr. We mentioned it. There are three. There are three. Who else? Who else is saying something here? Let me see. Quality is a policy. Ambassador mentioned the three trilogies by Julian, and I explained it. I explained it so that we can know the application. Do you remember? Somebody said, okay. Somebody said, not fitness to use. It is fitness for use. Now, what makes it fit for use? That was where I explained the three trilogies by Julian. Okay, without wasting our time, can somebody remember when I talked about Julian's trilogy, talking about quality planning? You say, yay, I remember now. Okay, I talked about quality control. What is the third one? If you do not give me, you will not collect your certificate. Mr. Ojo.
Quality
Mr.
improvement.
Sunday.
Quality improvement.
Who said quality improvement?
Quality
Is
improvement.
that Mr. Okay, Precious, you said quality improvement. I disagree. Any other person? That's not the third one. Any other person?
Quality control, quality planning, and quality implementation.
Implementation, actualization. Any other person? Any other person? Mr. Sunday now. Talked about.
So I want to learn. I don't want to Google.
Don't learn. I have taught you before.
The time you were explaining, the network was not okay. I only got a quality planning, which I wrote down here, and quality control. The third one was I was guessing either improvement or implementation. I have to jot it down here. So the network was not all that okay, please.
Quality assurance.
Okay, Victor. Quality assurance, no. Alexander. You want to say something? Okay, the third one, I said, go ahead.
So I think it's quality improvement.
You think, all right. I said Julian defined quality as simply fitness for use. If we're to statement fitness for use, we can use over 2 pages, 3 pages to explain in details. And I now said, okay, for him to have said fitness for use, it's not just accidental. These are the things that makes it fit for use when you apply and when you work on it. We talk about quality planning. We talked about quality control, which is the second, and we equally talked about quality improvement. Mr. Precious was correct, but I wanted him to be sure. I wanted him to be sure. Yeah, so understand Julian's trilogy is very important. Quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. That is the only way that your product can be fit for use. Anything outside that, excuse me, anything outside that cannot be, right? So let's move. Let's move. We say that to improve quality, one must look upstream at the design stage because that is where quality begins. Does that make sense? That to improve quality, you must look upstream at the design stage, because that is where quality begins. Is that a fact or is something debatable? Is that true or
It's
false?
a fact, sir. True, sir.
Yes. You must look upstream at the design stage. For every project that is executed, you look at the design stage. That is where quality is buried. That is where quality is hidden. That if it is not looked at, you just miss it out. So, quality must be designed in. It cannot be inspected later. These are statements from quality gurus that quality must be designed in. It cannot be inspected later. You have raised your building to maybe 5th floor and you say, hey, let's check if we are of quality at the 5th floor. You want to check if it is of quality. Well, let's see what becomes of it. So, quality begins with education and ends with education. Simple as that. Quality begins with education and it ends with what? With education. We also say that for you to ascertain the level of quality, remove the root causes, not the symptoms. What could have caused non-conformity? What would cause low quality? Let us remove it at the initial stage, not when it begins to crack. That is the symptom. We now begin to run helter-skelter. No. A building that is cracked could have been eliminated. That is the root cause for the crack. But we ignored the root cause. Now we are paying attention to the symptoms. You will deal with the symptom. It will give you temporary results, but the root cause will always surface. The root cause will always bring about other issues. That is what quality is exposing us to. It is not just one thing to say, I believe in quality, I believe in quality. There are things that must be injected into it to get the desired result. And one of such is the removal of root causes and not the symptoms. Right? So we talk about 5 dimensions of quality management: customer satisfaction, prevention over inspection, continuous improvement, management responsibility, and of course, the cost of quality. Mr. Sunday, is quality expensive? Or what is the cost of quality? Mr. Sunday, what is the cost of quality?
The cost of quality, quality has no cost. It's just for it to give you its best. Follow the prescribed standard.
Okay, just to follow the prescribed standard. But I can tell you that quality is expensive. Who agree with me on that?
Yes, sir. Quality is expensive.
Is expensive because not everybody would want to venture into quality because of how expensive it is. What is the position of management as far as quality is concerned? What is the position of management as far as quality is concerned? Mr. Ojo, what is the position of the management as far as quality is concerned? Miss Ruth or Mrs. Ruth, are you there? Management responsibility as far as quality is concerned. Any other person?
I think management concern about quality should be do it right at the first time.
We must understand that when it comes to management responsibility, what we are simply saying is the quality that we are talking about starts with the management. They have a responsibility. If you have a crop of management that do not believe in quality, what do? Nothing. Their ideology about quality is nothing to write home about. So they have a responsibility by setting quality goals and providing resources. If I believe in quality, Mr. Sunday comes to me telling me his own side of quality and all of that. The project. That is my responsibility as a manager. But there are people that do not. All they are concerned about is the money, right? Just do it anyhow. How much are we going to sell it? That's what matters. Forget quality. Anybody that comes in there, they will upgrade on it. No. The management must have quality consciousness, quality mentality, quality thought, quality behavioral pattern, so that anybody that comes in sees through the eyes of the management that they are quality conscious. You will not want to misbehave as a project manager, knowing fully well that management stand for quality. There are certain suggestions that you not even want to bring to their table. There are certain procurement that you not even want to bring to their table. Why? Because you know they want rules, standards, objectives. And then we talk about continuous improvement. We say that continuous improvement talks about for you to pick, you do, you control, you act. Right? You must understand what I'm doing. Is it in line with quality? Am I acting in line? Is the control in line? Am I doing what will bring about the quality or not? And then we talk about prevention over inspection. Cost of preventing is much lesser than cost of correcting. Is that true or false?
Very correct.
Cost of preventing, it will cost me nothing to prevent, but it will cost me a whole lot to correct. That is what quality. Build quality rather than inspect into. Build quality rather inspect into. Quality needs to be built. Like we said, it is not an accident. That is the first statement, that quality is not an accident. It has to be there must be intentionality, there must be skills, right? There must be sincerity, and there must be building. You must build it. You cultivate the habit. Your customer satisfaction is very key. Why are you talking about quality? Is it for you? Yeah, it's for you as a project manager because it also builds your portfolio. It builds your confidence. It's your unique selling point, right? It projects you on a positive note to the world. So you are also a beneficiary of project quality, not only for your customers. You know, there was one story I heard. Somebody went to a carpenter. This person has been a very, they've been working together for some years and all that. And this man was like, "What can I do for this person?" He said, "Okay." No, it was a builder. He said, "Okay, I need you to build me 3-bedroom flat on this parcel of land." The man like, wow. So this man has not even done anything for me at all. Everything that I've been doing, I've been working assiduously for him. Okay, this time around, I'm going to eat from this. They say that where man work is where man chop. That's why they call it workshop. So I'm going to eat from this project now. He started with the building using some inferior, very low quality materials and all of that. So at the end of it, call the man that is done with the project. The man went through the building, said, "Wow, okay, this is nice. This is nice." The money that he was given to buy quality materials, he diverted it to something else and got lesser quality of what substandard materials. The man said, "Well, for all that you have done for me, being a very good person to me, this house is for you." Whether he will cry, whether he will laugh, he was just there indifferent. In his mind, he will be like, only if I knew that this building, I was building it for myself, I would have used a very quality material to build this house. But the damage has been done. He must need to stay and enjoy the low quality materials that he procured. That is what quality is talking about. It is not only for your customers, it also affects you directly or indirectly. That whatever we do, whether it is for somebody, whether it is for us, we use the best of quality materials that we can ever think of. It's important. Any question so far? Any question? Any contribution?
Excuse me. A situation whereby the a owner of a project, for example, building, and
Yeah.
after giving quotation for a quality project, and the man decided that, oh, I don't have enough money to do this, what would the project manager do at that point?
Okay. You want to get, you've agreed for a quality materials to be procured. Along the line, he says he doesn't have money, for the completion of such, right? What will
Yeah.
the project manager do? Okay, Mr. Ojo, over to you. Mr. Ojo, are you there? Mr. Sunday, over to you. What will you do?
So sorry, sir. I didn't get that very well, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Mr. Isaac. What will you do?
Sir, I will let him know that cheaper things are more expensive in the long run. That's what I'll tell him. And then maybe invite a friend of mine who is also a very good project manager to explain things to him, for him to understand if he will bear the cost of incurring quality things for the project to be undertaken.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Sunday, Precious was asking, as a project manager, you have maybe, let example, you have a building project with a client, and the person actually believes in quality, but along the line, the project has started, and it says he doesn't have money, to procure quality product to continue with the project. What will you do as a project manager?
As a project manager, I will advise on the need or we need to use quality materials. But if he insists, all I will tell him is just to put it into writing that he gave me the go ahead to use substandard materials to finish his building. So he has to put it into black and white that he gave the go ahead. He approved that we should go ahead with whatever he must have said.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ojo, what will you do? Okay, Victor.
Can I say
yes,
something?
please. Go ahead.
Practical example. I was building and I called this building engineer to help, assist me in supervising the job because I'm not always around. And he came to a point, he wanted to use substandard materials. He just told me that he will not do it. I should look for another person. And I asked him why. He said he doesn't want to, he doesn't want his name to go down with people who don't do job according to quality. And he stopped. It is a difficult situation, putting money, how much you want to get in the product. But at the long run, your integrity is also at stake. So as a project manager, after spelling it out, do a disclaimer and don't put your stamp on it. It has happened severally. I was doing hydro tests in one company and they asked me to cheat because they needed the job. I told them I will not do that. They offered money. I said, I will not do it. So it is left for you as a person. You want quality, let it be quality. Don't associate yourself with project that is not what is it called? What will I say? That is not precise and is not according to quality. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I have something to add.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, the speakers have spoken very well. I want to also add that we should understand that there are also legal dimensions to this. Apart from our integrity that we have to protect as project managers, we should also bear in mind that if, for example, a building collapses, it's not just the owner of the building that will be held. You, the project manager, and your project team will be held also. So you could go to jail, you could be killed, it could be executed. Sometime in I think it was last year or 2 years ago, when Syria experienced that earthquake. Now there are some buildings that were affected. People died, and investigation proved that the project managers used vehicle tires instead of suspensions to lay the foundation of the buildings. All of them were executed. All the team members were executed, including the government officials that were also involved. Everybody in that project was executed. I have the video. In fact, they buried them in that site. So we should also know that if your building collapses and you're the project manager and you knew you used the wrong my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for all the speakers. Mr. Precious, I'm sure your question has been well answered, analyzed.
Convincingly
Okay?
convinced.
Convincingly convinced. They've not been able to confuse you, but convince you with their. Now, let me just add, like second to the last speaker said, you see this thing that we call integrity. Your money will fail you. Yes, money will fail you. If you want to collect money for the project, the money will finish. But your integrity, it will be there, whether negative or positive, till you leave the earth. That is the plain fact and truth. It is important, like we said in our previous class, integrity is the watchword for every project manager. Sometimes I have seen a situation where, okay, we went for bidding with Lagos State government on a particular project and all that. And somebody said, put 500 million. We defend this. How can I defend 500 million inclusion? I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Say, they do sime for you. You are doing holier than thou attitude. That somebody now will just come, he will say 700 and the person will put and nothing will happen. You think it works like that. Things are not done like that here. You have to open your eyes. Use what you have to get what you. All the nasty talks just to confuse me to partake. I said no, that we aren't going to do it. That this is what the value is and this is the true representation. We left. Do you know that that was a setup? Nobody told me when I got there that first day, but later we were recalled, and I got to know that that was a setup to test your level of integrity. I opened my mouth for like 2 minutes and said, God, what if I had gone this way? That means I would have missed out completely. As I said to you, I audit with Lagos State on safety. Lagos State Commission. Safety Commission, Lagos State. Sometimes you have the task of auditing all the hotels in Lagos State. That is not an easy task. But because over time they've seen your kind of person, they know what you stand for. That you won't get to one hotel, they don't have anything. The hotel manager will just come, my brother, come sit down. They cook you correct banga soup with big meat. You eat finish. What is the report? They have passed everything. They have every equipment. And you issue them the certificate, whereas where they are cooking is like where they keep goats. Their rooms, nothing. That is what integrity is all about. It is not, the money will finish. The money will finish. And one thing about integrity is you don't know who is hearing about you. You don't know who who is hearing about you, and you don't know who is going to be used to test you to know where you stand for. We need to be very careful. As much as money no dey, money no dey, money, we understand. But I believe that our integrity is even more than the money. Have a little integrity, and you see how much you will make. But make all the money and don't have integrity, it's a matter of time, the money will finish. Who will you run to? They say this one, don't give a walk, or this one, you go inflate her now. Everybody. So we have all spoken well. Mr. Precious, put it into writing explicitly. This is what you the advantages of having quality materials, and these are the disadvantages of having substandard materials. Let there be a disclaimer. Peradventure, anything happens, I'm not held responsible, right? If you have your way and you know if you let go of the project, nothing is going to happen, you can take a bow. But at the same time, the project and the client should also understand that sometimes project is done in phases, that you don't have the money now to have quality product. We can suspend it. When you have, we come back and continue. That's another option. Rather than paying dearly, heavily for correction, whereas you would have spent little.
I have a question, sir. I have a
All right,
question.
sir.
If you're
Please go
involved,
ahead.
if you're involved in a critical project, let me just add the word critical to buttress the point. And you're asked to compromise on quality, and you know the implication of that. Would
Yes,
your
sir.
disclaimer extricate you from any possible consequences if that project fails? Would your disclaimer protect you from the consequences?
Well, I will answer explicitly. Your disclaimer will not be. The reason I say so, well, okay. Mr. Ojo, are you in the house? Mr. Sunday, are you around?
Yes, sir. I'm around, sir.
Okay. Did you get that question? What is your take?
Yes,
Will
sir.
your exonerate you from maybe any sanction if at all the project fails? Will it?
To me, I would say yes and no. But when you have your disclaimer, if it's meant to bring a huge judgment on you, at least it would have been said that you actually mentioned this, but the client told you to go ahead with it. I don't know if you understand, sir. So it might
Yes.
save you and it might not save you, but it will reduce the
Depending.
punishment maybe at the long run, because it would have been on agreement that so person told you to go ahead, which was really against the ethics of the profession.
Okay, I understand. I get you. Any other person you want to? I'm enjoying the class
Well,
because it is
Sir,
interactive.
you know, that's a reduced
Right.
punishment.
Okay,
The reduced
let's
punishment could be,
who
the
is
reduced
speaking?
punishment could be, Victor is speaking, the guy that asked the
Okay,
question.
Victor, go ahead. Okay.
You know, the reduced punishment could be 5 years imprisonment, 10 years imprisonment
No,
instead of
hold
life
on.
imprisonment.
You asked the question. You asked the question, right?
yeah,
Don't answer.
hold on. The
Let
issue
others.
here, if in my opinion, or as a profession, to me, you don't have option. Like what happened in Ikoyi, the owner said they should go ahead and do what they did. Unfortunately, the day he came to the site collapsed and he killed him. And government did not say, he asked them, where are the project managers for prosecution? So whatever, don't be involved, remove your hand, because even in the next 30 years, you build a house and anything happen to that house, nobody will want to take your disclaimer that Oga say and owner says. What they know that you are a professional, you're supposed to have done it in the right way. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Any other person? I'm liking this class. It's getting more intense. The heat is coming. Let's go in that frequency. Ruth, what do you have to say? You have not said anything since morning.
Okay,
Are you
sir.
writing your disclaimer?
Not at all, sir. Well, in my own profession, I will say it's best not to compromise because in our own there we have a slogan which says when a pharmacist make a mistake, it leads to the death of thousands. But when a doctor makes a mistake, it leads to the death of just a single patient. So when it leads, like in manufacturing sector, which I'm in, we promote quality at its highest. So there are times like that peradventure, maybe they bring a substandard raw material or active pharmaceutical ingredients. And then because maybe the MD discover that he has bought this and he cannot return it and all that, and we say use it as such. At that point, you have to stand your ground and refuse to use it. Because if you use it and at the long run, patients take it out there and something happened, it's just like the case that happened with my pikin. The production pharmacist went to jail. The quality assurance manager went to jail, and the owner also went to jail. So nobody asked to know if whether you said no, you cannot use it, and peradventure it was the MD that insists you use it. In fact, the punishment on the MD, the owner, was less compared to that of the professional who was handling the project at that time or the manufacturing. So when it comes to quality, there shouldn't be any compromise. If the owner insists, it's better you just hands off or put in your resignation and leave to save yourself.
Wow, awesome. Awesome. Alex, you have something to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, good morning, everyone. When
Good
it
morning,
comes
sir.
to quality, is we already know that law has no excuse. So when somebody wants you to compromise on quality of anything, not even in project, anything that you are doing that gives you a living, you are not expected to compromise because law has no excuse. When you're caught, there will be nothing that will say that will save you. This is all I have to say. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. We have all, in fact, we have all spoken as professionals. Let me just wrap it up here. In my first statement, I said I will answer you explicitly that your disclaimer cannot save you, and I still stand on that. Why do I say so? You know, it will be assumed that you were helping the person, to achieve the wrong thing. And as a professional, you could have advised, the other way. But this person is that, no, don't worry, Shebi is mine. It's not, nothing will happen. They will tell you, don't worry, anything happens, I take responsibility. It is only by word of mouth. When the chiefs are down, you, the project manager, will be the one to take the responsibility. The effect or the repercussion of low quality, it is either in short-term manifestation, medium-term manifestation, or long-term manifestation. It can happen, negative effect can happen immediately. It can be in the next 5 years. You see, I told you nothing will happen. This thing has stood for like 5, 10 years, nothing has happened. You see now, the next month, you get a negative result. It can even last for like 20 years. But the truth is, your signature is on that project. Your signature is on that project. So what are we trying to say, Mr. Mr. Victor, the best thing for you to do as a professional, right? If you're advised, let's do the project in phases. When you have the money, we can continue so that we can get the best quality materials. If he refuses, that's option number one. He refuses. You say, okay, why don't you get another person to continue the job? He says no, he wants you to complete the job. The next thing for you to do is say, sir, I'm sorry, I cannot continue with the job. I do not compromise. I am not for substandard materials. I preach and practice quality. Anything outside this, I am not in it. Do you know that that singular statement of yours builds more confidence between you and your client? It tells him that you are not just like every other person, you are different. When they go for their meeting, their status, caucus meeting, and all of that, and issues like this come up, he will tell you them, I have someone that is different from the rest of other project managers. These were the experiences that we had, and this was what he said. So don't compromise. Like Ruth said, a doctor can only kill one person. I have seen somebody doing operation, they forget handkerchief inside the tummy, and the person died. They forget needle, they forget scissors. It is only one person that died. Every life matters, right? But this one is only one. Imagine a pharmacist that compromised and used substandard malaria material ingredient to make malaria tablets for African countries. We are gone. In fact, we are gone because we take malaria tablets every 3 months. We are gone. So that should be avoided as much as possible. Mr. Mr. Victor, I believe we have been able to answer your question.
Yes, it's clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that interactive question. Quality, that's why we said it starts from an individual and it ends with an individual. Now, let's look at input to quality planning. One of the inputs to quality planning, like we mentioned before, is quality policy. Quality policy. But I want to ask a question. Why do people compromise? You see someone that is rich, he's got the money, he's got the connection, he's got everything, but he still wants to compromise. Why?
One, in this side of the world, or let me say, we are not always satisfied with mundane things. Wow. Hello?
Yeah, Mosisa.
I say in this side of the world, we are not always satisfied with mundane things. Where a situation where somebody wants to acquire everything all alone, and he wants to get more, even when he has enough. Let me just digress a little bit. Those of us who are from Nigeria, you discover that, like our senators, some of them were governors. They must have pack and pack and pack and pack while they were governors. Now they don't want to retire for the young ones to come. They'll still go back there and be packing. So, and they want everybody to answer them, and everybody should be under them while they remain on top. I think greed is the major issue there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Greed, according to Mr. Precious, is the major issue for compromise. Ruth, what will you say is the cost or the reason for compromise?
Um, for compromise, I would say I will second the thought of the last speaker. Greed, and then so is just an inherent nature. It's just in them not to do the right thing. I think.
Okay.
Yes. Because
Okay,
some
thank you.
they actually have what it takes to get an order.
Can
Okay,
I
thank you.
add something to that?
Please go ahead,
Yes.
Mr. Victor.
Okay. Greed is a human thing. It's not limited to any location. It's not an African thing or an Asian thing. It's all over the world. So long as humans exist there. What facilitates compromise is the system. You notice that countries that are doing very well have built systems that will prevent you from succeeding in compromise. The reason it hasn't worked in Nigeria is because we have weak systems. Instead, we are building strong individuals who are bigger and stronger than systems. So greed, like the previous speaker said, is at the base, is at the core of the reason people want to also do this. There's also another reason. You notice that there's a correlation between poverty and corruption. And that is why bad leaders don't want you to be rich. They don't want you to be comfortable, because when you are in need, you can easily compromise to satisfy your basic needs. So if you notice countries like the Scandinavian nations like Norway, Denmark, these guys are almost 100% corruption free. They don't even, their prisons are empty. You know why? Because the income per capita of the individuals, of the citizens, is very high. They don't need any other thing. They have everything they need. So it reduces the temptation to compromise. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes,
thank you very much. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
yes, sir.
I also add on something.
Okay, go ahead, Alex.
I look at the areas of the project management that we are dealing with. There are always a lot of pressure that come up with meeting the deadline. And this really, when it comes to the project timelines, when a number of things for the team that are dealing in the project that need to meet the deliveries of a better results, people always tend to create in, like to have shortcuts in order for them to meet the targets of the projects. And this really makes people compromise in the results that they're going to deliver. Another aspect that I also looked at really, the resource constraint. You know, in running in a projects, there are really a number of things that are really required. When you look at the budget cutoff, you look at the manpower, this really can make the individual team that are running a project to corner around or to divert themselves or to compromise in the number of the objective of the projects where they're working within, to see that the little resources that they have, they can work within amidst the constraint. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you. That's also a factor. Alex, over to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think the main reason here is that even though other speakers have already said it, the main reason for that compromise is that companies and individuals want to maximize profits. When there is this urge that the profit you'll get or you are getting from a project is not enough, so you may, if you are not careful, you may be enticed to compromise a system simply because you want to maximize profits. You want to get more from the project, and that could lead to compromise. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We have all spoken well. I think for every point that we have mentioned, there is correlation. For every point that we have mentioned so far, from greed to lack of effective system and all of that, there is a correlation. Now, what is a correlation? I don't know the speaker that mentioned over the week, was it last week? I heard there is a country in the world that their 14 prison is opened because there's nobody inside. They have 14 prisons facilities. As we speak, the 14 facilities are opened down. Why? There's nobody inside. Nobody inside. That speaks about having a strong system that believes in standard, a strong system that has value, a strong system that will itself will not compromise, a system that itself will not compromise. If the father compromises, the son are watching, the children are watching, the wife is watching, the children will also compromise. But if the father does not compromise, the mother does not compromise, the children will learn from their parents. So the system that we have here in Africa, in Nigeria, we are not saying that there's no system that is 100% sense. No. There's no system that is absolutely a sense. No system. But there are systems that is about 98%, 99%, 95%
corrupt
free. They put premium on the lives of our citizens, right? So we are talking about compromise. If the system itself is corrupt, what will the citizens do? We follow suit now.
Absolute corrupt.
Imagine last week, or was it this week? Yeah, early this week, I was shocked to read that 80% of the houses in Lekki do not have approval. This is from a minister, a commissioner, maybe a minister self, that does not have approval to build. And the question is, this guy started from the foundation. Where were you people? They've gotten to the level of lintel, to the level of roofing, they painted. People have started living for the past 15, 20 years. Yet, and you are just coming out now to tell us that they do not have approval after how many years? That is insane. Meaning that for these people to have the right, the boldness to build any structure, they must have passed through the back door to meet who sabi who, that knows who, that knows who, and the building is standing. That is the weak system that the speaker was talking about. So these are things that brings about what? Compromise. That is why we are talking about what? Quality policy. If the government of the day has got quality policies on ground, that anybody that flaws the policies is faced with sanctions. I am telling you, quality will drastically reduce. Because as a project manager, if I do anyhow, my license is withdrawn. And once your license is withdrawn, you can never practice as a project manager. Go and look for another profession. You can never practice. Everything that you've got is stripped off you. Why? Because there is quality policy on ground that is backed up by the law. Even when we have it boldly written in the Constitution, in our policy books, it is just written down. What about the enforcement aspect of it? That is where the issue is. So everything that we have mentioned so far is what leads to greed. I want to make money on time. Anything that will happen, let it happen. I can do anything. I can do anything to make money. That includes cutting corners. That includes purchasing or procuring substandard materials. That includes a whole lot. And then we talk about, the other speaker talked about timing. The timing that a project manager gives to the client also pressurizes the project manager to executing the project in spite of not putting every other things in place. That is why we always emphasize, as a project manager, a project is given to you, giving to you. That is where debate comes in. That is where dialogue comes in. The reason for the dialogue is to ensure that you are not caught unawares, that you are not put under pressure to deliver the project, but you are doing it in line with the time suitable for that project. We said that before at the beginning of the class. I think in our last two classes. A project is given. Give your client, give and take. There must be at least 2 weeks interval, 2 weeks into the time frame. Mr. Sunday is giving me a project to execute. It will take me 2 months to execute, but I can tell Mr. Sunday that the project will take me 3 months. I will do everything possible to meet up with the 2 months required by him. The extra 1 month that I am giving is so that in case of necessities, I will not be pushed to and fro and all of that. That is where quality policy comes in. We must understand what quality policy every organization, every project manager should have quality policy. The organization has got theirs. As an entity that you are, you should have your own policy concerning quality. That is the essence of what we are talking about so far. It does not end, and it will not end with you. Right? So, we also talk about scope statements. Scope statements as part of the input to quality planning. The scope statement is a key input to quality planning since it documents major project deliverables as well as the project objectives that serve to define the importance of stakeholder requirements. What is the scope of the statement? What is the scope of the statement? In project management, there is project scope. The project scope emphasizes your understanding of where the project begins and where the project should end. Not deviating from its original concept to something else because of your you are more knowledgeable in this than anything. No, stay within the confine of the project. If the quality states that it should be this, let it be that. Do not go less and let it not even be more. Stay in line with the statement of quality. Then we talk about product description. The product description. For every project that is embarked on, every product has its own description that is suitable for every phase of the project. What is the description of this product concerning this particular phase? How suitable is it? What is the details? What is the technical issues that must or should be or we will encounter? If we have been able to analyze the technical issues that we envisage as a challenge, do we have a corresponding materials, technical know-how to curtail the challenges? Do we have what it takes to handle the challenges when it comes? Do we really understand the product description? You know, it's like, Ruth will agree with me, it's like somebody, you go to the hospital and then or to the pharmacy, and you say, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling this way, and then the pharmacist gives you some, medications and all of that. As the patient, you don't even understand the product description. Am I supposed to take it twice a day? Is it one a day? Is it 3 times a day? Is it one off? How should this product be stored? In case of reactions, what do I do? In case of reactions, some will say, okay, when you take this medication, in essence, you might have nausea, you might have itches, you might have sleeplessness or whatever. They are trying to tell you what the medication is for, so that you do not take it wrongly. The same thing applies to our project materials. The same thing applies to our project materials. Let us understand that. And then we talk about standard for regulations. What is the standard for regulation? Do we even understand the regulatory bodies in charge of project management? Do we really understand what it's all about? Let's go back and study ISO, what the standard for project managers. And you'll agree with me that every discipline must abide by the ISO standards and rules. The standard for project managers is different from that of pharmaceuticals, is different from that of medicals, is different from that of engineers. They have different, but if you streamline quality out of or from every other discipline, you get the same result. In the pharmaceutical, quality is fit for use. The drugs must be fit for use. Project management, quality fit for use. The engineering field, quality fit for use. There must be quality planning. There is no pharmaceutical company that does not do quality planning, that does not do quality control, and does not do quality improvement. No aspect of discipline in life will say they are not taking care of this Julian's trilogy. No discipline. So you can see that quality cut across every sphere of life. And then we talk about other process output. Other process output. When we're talking about other process output, we are equally talking about let's say your supplier, your contractor. What is their own ideology as far as quality is concerned? Now, you have been able to take care of, you've been able to drive home the importance of quality within your organization. Everybody believes in quality within the organization, but what about the external people? Do they also believe in quality? What if your suppliers do not believe in quality and all their materials is less quality? How do you manage that? How do you scale through that? How do you make them to understand that their non-conformity is affecting your own organization? You have procured 500 bags of materials and you discover that out of the 500 bags, only 200 bags conform to standard, 300 does not conform, and yet you have used everything unknowingly to you that only 200 were actually fine, 300 not fine. What will you do? It's definitely going to affect your output. So we must let them understand and identify the contractors that have good quality intentions that are intentional in quality. And that should do what? Be seen in the overall quality management plan. It should be reflected in our quality management plan. What do we mean by quality management plan? Now, in the course of our project work or execution, I have discovered that whenever you procure materials from Mr. Sunday, it is of high quality from beginning to the end. We can satisfactorily, convincingly document that in our quality management plan. We can also, put that in a project charter, that there's a supplier we normally patronize. His company is Sundays and Son PLC or Limited. What are we trying to say? We are trying to bring into the knowledge of our own in-house stakeholders that this is someone that understands quality. And then the management plan, we're like, okay, having known Mr. Sunday for the past 5 years, he has never failed us. He has never compromised. How can we manage Mr. Sunday to the point that he will not have any reason to compromise? That is where we begin to map our strategy as an organization. Can we give him incentives for supplying quality products? Can we give him commissions for meeting time? What can we do to manage him so that we still continue to get the best products from him? That is quality management plan. Even if any other person comes, hey, sir, you see, Mr. Ojo, hey, there's one man that I know. He's operating in Abuja. Can you start patronizing him? You say we have a supplier. Why? Because over time you've tested him, you've trusted him, and it is the same quality. Then we talk about the tools and the techniques for quality planning. What are the tools that we can use for quality planning? What are the techniques that we can use? What is benchmarking? Anybody? Benchmarking. Benchmarking. Anybody? Or I should call names.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Morning. Hello, good morning. So, community bless.
Yes, sir.
Benchmarking is the mark or point that every company organization actually place. It's a target. Let me use your word target. A peak for every organizations to actually get to in terms of activity. That's a benchmarking.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Timothy. Okay, you've just spoken.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Any other person? Benchmarking. Mr. Victor. Yes.
Sir.
Benchmarking is when you want to know how your counterparts. Should I continue?
You might have to respond again. Your network is not giving us okay.
Hello.
Go ahead,
Hello?
Victor. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so benchmarking is when you want to know how well your company, your organization is doing by looking at what other organizations within your sector, how they're doing. So that's part of benchmarking. You're relatively comparing your performance with others. that you are exposed to the same kind of risks in the industry or in the sector.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Yes, Ruth, you wanted to say something.
Yes, sir. For me, I think benchmarking is a standard that has been set by which every other measurement is done by. So that benchmark now is a standard that has been set. Then whatever you're going to do, you measure it based on that standard. More like a reference point. We'll call it in my own field, we'll call it a whatever you're doing. That's
You
what
call
you
it
use
what?
to
We didn't
measure
get you. You call it what in your field?
a reference standard.
Reference standard. Okay. In your
A
field, reference
reference
standard.
standard. Yes, yes. So that is our benchmark. We can't go beyond or above. So whatever we're doing, we refer to that and measure it by that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Any other person? Benchmarking, your own understanding.
Hello. I think
Yes, sir.
benchmarking is a standard to evaluate and measure something or a project, something like that.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Rivo.
Yes,
I saw you
I
before.
will say that I want to sell a product I manufacture,
Yes.
and there is a lot of people that are selling similar product in the market. How do I fix my price? I have to go out and do a little visibility study to know how much they are selling, so that we're able to actually benchmark it to that is already being sold. That standard outside, how is it? Let me maintain that same standard. So benchmarking is all about standard, measuring your standard with other indigenous companies doing the same thing with you. You will not go below their own standard. Instead, you will improve on your own. So you are benchmarking, or you are setting the standard based on the standard is already existing, or based on existing protocol. That is what you do, so that you improve on that existing standard in the market.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. Does anybody want to say something? In the absence, okay. Alexander.
Yes, I think in accordance with what Ruth also said, it's just to measure your success, your achievements. If it's up to actually living up to the standard, a standard that has already been set, which is actually in the industry or in a particular field, which is used as a reference point. You measure what you have achieved, if your success is or your quality is meeting up to that standard, that reference point has been set.
All right, thank you very much. We've all spoken fantastically well. Okay, so I can say I started secondary school, right? I was always third position. Then I now realize this third position, it is somebody that is occupying second and third, and first position. Now, I don't want to set a standard where what the highest point I can get is less than third position. What do I do? I put every other thing that I need to do. This person that is occupying first, second position, what are they doing different from what I'm doing? How can I get to that level of first and second position? I put more effort. I do this. I read, do my assignment, attend classes, write my exams very well, and all of that. That is benchmarking improvement. Don't forget, I found myself occupying third position, but with improvement, I have been able to navigate into second. Before you know it, I navigate into first position. Now, I have set a benchmark for myself that no matter what, even if I don't read for the whole of the term, I cannot occupy fourth position. It has to be first, second, or third. Anything outside that is not acceptable. That is what benchmarking. So in organization look at their actual, their actual performance compared to the planned activities or practice. What kind of benchmarking can we give ourselves that no matter what, I cannot go below this? Like second to the last week, I said you have a product, you're manufacturing product, fine. What are some of the benchmark that is obtainable as far as the industry you are in? What are some of the benchmarks that is being obtained? The need for you now to, do your feasibility studies, do your market survey. Mr. Orivo is charging as a project manager 15 million. That is his project fee. Mr. Sunday is charging 10 million. Mr. Ojo is charging 7.5. Why the discrepancies? Why this? Why is there no uniformity? Now I come in, I do my visibility study, I discover that there is something that Mr. Orivo is doing that is setting him out, that no matter the amount he calls for his client, they pay without hesitation. Quality is upheld. Standard is upheld. The customers prefer using him. What do? I get into the market. I say, okay, I cannot be priced 2.5 million. No. I want to also set a standard for myself. I get into the market. I'm being known. Before you know it, I'm also charging maybe 10 million. I have different clients. For the past 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, I am on 10 million range. That is the benchmark that I can give myself, that, hey, no matter who you are, I cannot go below 10 million naira per project fee, but I can go as high as 15 million. That is my benchmark. Every organization has got this. So in quality management, we also speak of this. Okay, we have done projects. Experts have, given us their unbiased assessment of the project, and we have scored 95% of conforming with the standards. 95% is a pass mark, is an excellent mark. That is where we want to maintain. We cannot come lower, but we can go higher. How do we go higher? Is by what? Constant improvement. Constant improvement on the quality. But we can never, for any reason, do anything that will bring us from 95 to 94.5. We don't want to do that. That is what? Benchmark. And that is one of the tools and techniques for quality planning. You say, Mr. Ojo, the last project we did, we were highly commended. In fact, it's the talk of town. People are just calling us from all over the country, all over the world, telling us how quality the project was. Do you know what? Let us maintain that momentum. Let us maintain that standard. We don't want to go anything less than what they have seen. That is benchmarking. So when you have that concept in your heart, in your mind, in your management work frame, you will be able to do everything possible within your reach, providing all the necessary materials, getting all the technologies, all the techniques, technical know-how, getting all the human power in order for you to do what? Just to maintain that benchmark that you have carved for yourself. That is what one of the tools and techniques that is used. It's very important. It's very, very important. It's unfortunate you hear some people say, this guy, he was once known for quality. All of a sudden, you can't even talk about 10%. That is not the project manager did not set a benchmark. The organization did not set a benchmark for themselves. How can you move from 90% and you crash land to 25? That is not acceptable in quality. It is not acceptable. You should rather move from 90 to 95 to 80, to 98 to 100, and even pass if you can. That is. Then we talk about benefit and cost analysis. One of the tools and the techniques for planning quality is benefit and cost analysis. Can somebody just explain what he or she understands by this in relations to quality, benefit, and cost analysis? Anybody, please? Benefit and cost analysis. Anyone? Mr. Orivo. Benefit and cost analysis as a tool and techniques for quality planning. How does this apply? Mr. Orivo.
Yeah. Are we there?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Well, I would not, I'm at work. I go out, come in, go out, come in. I'm really
okay.
Not, yes.
Okay. I'll just pardon you for that. Mr. Sunday.
No idea, sir. No idea, sir.
They must be, nah, lie. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. I strongly disagree with you. ASS. I strongly disagree. Now, listen, Mr. Sunday, you have an idea. We are talking about the tools and techniques for quality planning. And we said one of such is the benefits and cost analysis. You have an idea. For quality planning,
The benefits.
you have and cost analysis, yes.
The benefits when you have a good quality is it promotes it gives you more leverage for better jobs and for good jobs. And in terms of the cost analysis, that means some certain percentage of the project has to go into quality to ensure that quality is maintained from the beginning to the end.
Yes. Now,
that's all I can understand, sir.
And you say you did not have idea. I beg, don't be trying me.
Can I
Any
say,
other person?
You can never have an idea in front of a professor.
Can I say something?
Yes, Mr. Rivo.
Well,
yes.
Well, we are all in projects. They will tell you that if we say if quality, you think quality is cheap, try ignorant or try substandard goods.
Yes.
And you see whether it is cheap or not. It is easier for me not to follow the scope of work, and at the end of the day, interventions will take place. And when interventions take place, what happens? You spend more. You spend seriously more, and a lot of people will end up losing their job. So it is better to do comparison. It is better to do comparison, cost comparison of what you want to do. Okay, if we buy this as against this, what do we gain to benefit? What are we going to benefit?
Absolutely.
So what are we going to benefit if we go for the lesser one? What are we going to benefit? What are we going to, our integrity again? I always say integrity because I've been in projects and I know what it is. Why integrity is the key. I'm in a project. I'm in PHRC. We are the one refurbishing the Port Harcourt refinery. So I know exactly what if you fail to analyze the benefit, you end up all your profit will be sink in. Litigations will come. So you need to compare price holistically so that you prevent interventions at the long run. I was in a project and they did something and they hurriedly they finished in time according to schedule, within schedule and within budget. And they went out of that project and they came. Quality people came, they started punching everything they didn't do well. They came back, they spent half of the monies they think they have made. Time. So it is better for you to analyze these benefits, the costs, analyze it very well. When I was in the banking industry, I know we used to do what is called flowchart.
Flowchart, yes. It's part of the techniques as well. We'll come to that.
Yes. So we used to do flowchart. You want to borrow money? We do your cash flow analysis. Say, okay, if you collect this money, you can collect this much you can collect. So after everything, you discover that it is key for us to be able to do it quality-wise, so that we'll not, at the end of the day, we'll end up shooting ourselves on the feet. I think that's why that's why I understand it to be anyway.
You have said fantastically well. You've analyzed it fantastically well. That is just what this is all about. The benefit and cost analysis. We are simply saying, okay, if we have quality, what is the benefit? Number one, customer satisfaction. And number two, maybe resale value. We'll have integrity. Will be, the trust is there. We build trust. People will be patronizing us. Those are the benefits. Now, what is the cost implication of not having quality? Just like what Mr. Orivo said, the analysis, the resultant effect of not having this quality is that you will spend more than you can ever think. You will spend more than you can ever think. So, a philosopher said, if it must be, then it has to be. If it must not, then it shouldn't be, or it must not be. If you want to have quality, have it with all your heart. Be intentional. Be sincere about it. If you don't want to have, just know that you don't want to have. Don't mix quality and non-quality matter. No. Be focused. Stay one place. You will spend more than you can ever think. Secondly, you will begin to lose customers. You will lose customers. The confidence is not there. Stakeholders will begin to doubt your integrity. So for every point in time, we need to carry out an analysis of the cost and then the benefit. It is a tool. You are making comparison. You are comparing and contrasting. If I do well, what is the outcome? If I don't do well, what is the outcome? So have I decided to do well because of the mouth-watering outcomes, or I should just not do well and then face the consequences? It is the thing of choice. But for every organization, you must understand that the primary benefit of meeting quality requirements, one of the primary benefits of meeting quality requirements is less work. The less work brings about quality, higher productivity. It also brings about lower cost. It increases stakeholders' satisfaction. When we talk about less rework, we are not going back and forth. What mistake was done? Okay, like the example Mr. Orivo cited in the refinery. We are not running around. We did not meet this standard. Hey, we did not do this fabrication well. This welding was not well done. Oh, we did not. There is nothing like rework. Less rework, which means higher productivity. If we are not involved in much rework, it brings about higher productivity, and it brings about lower cost. We are not incurring additional cost because quality is maintained. The total amount for the project is 500 million. At the completion of the project, the monitoring, the execution, compliance test is done, and all of that. We are still ending with 500 million. But if we are reworking, we have not, complied with the standard, we have not passed conformative label, what are we going to do? Additional cost will be incurred. Why? Because quality was compromised. That is what we are talking about. Every organization must see this as a tool. And then the number 3 is flow charting. A flow chart is a diagram that shows how various elements of a system relate. The flow chart between the foundation, the block work, the lintel, the electrical works, the plumbing works, what is the flow chart that shows conformity to quality? Is there any breach in each of these flow charts? Is the plumbing department not conforming? Is the electrical department not conforming? There must be a flow chart that shows that each of the departments is conforming with with the standard. Right? So this flow chart, the techniques can help us to have the cause and effect diagram. The cause and effect diagram. What is the cause? That we had a crack in this place. Could it be that when the plumber was trying to do his work, he tampered on something? Could it be that when the electrical person was trying to do his work, there was a compromise somewhere? Let us have the cause and effect. Now that we have been able to see the see the cause, dictate the cause. What is the effect of this on the project? What is the effect of this crack on the building? What is the effect of this, non-conforming quality material on the project? What is the effect? The flow chart gives us a comprehensive diagram showing the cause and the effects of non-conformity. That is what we should understand. And this can be used, it can be documented in our lessons learned at the end of the project. This was what was discovered in our last project. We are going through it in this current project. Why? Because we do not want to repeat the same issue that we had, the same challenge that we had in the previous projects. Despite the fact that we were able to resolve the issues, but we don't want to go in because we know how much we spent correcting. Now, in this current project, we want to prevent rather than doing what? Correcting it. These are the tools and the techniques that you can, of course, use for quality planning. And then you can equally use expert judgment. I can, without shame, Mr. Ojo, I have discovered that none of your projects is failing conformity test. What have you been doing? What have you been doing right? How do you maintain this, that for the past 20 years, you have never failed in conforming to standard? What have you been doing different from other people? That is expert judgment. He will sit me down and tell me what I need to do that probably I have not even thought about before. I have not even conceived of it before. I have not even practiced of it before. But he's telling me from his own perspective as an expert in the field. That is also a tool. So that in my next project, I begin to inculcate, I begin to integrate into the project everything that Mr. Ojo told me. That is also a tool to what? Quality planning. Right? So we talk about the output of quality planning. What is the output? What are some of the output of quality planning? Anybody? Anybody? The output of quality planning.
Good result.
Good result. Quality objectives.
Quality objectives, good results.
Quality objectives.
Yeah, you said quality objectives, okay. Yeah. Any other?
The quality plan itself.
Standard compliance.
Standard compliance, the quality plan itself, quality assurance, operational definitions, you have your checklist, you can even have your audit. Do we know that as far as quality is concerned, audit is very, very important? What is the correlation between quality and an audit? Anybody? Let's dive a little bit into audit, because this is where some people miss out. Why should we carry out a comprehensive audit? In the first place, what is an audit? What is an audit? Mr. Sunday, are you with me? Ruth, what is an audit? As a
Audit
pharmacist.
is an examination and a control to the activities of a project.
Okay. Okay.
Audit is an independent examination.
The standards.
Are you reading from a book?
No, I did audit program. Only rain is falling. I can't get you very well. Not the other audit, but I'm managing.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sunday. Say audit is what?
is an independent examination to certify a project and an entity.
Okay. An independent examination to certify a project. Thank you. Any other person?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Okay, Ruth.
Okay,
Pharmacist
sir.
Ruth.
Yes, sir. Audit is something we do always. So I'll give an explanation based on my field. An audit is an evaluation and assessment of records and processes of the whole system in order to check and ensure that the quality management system that has been put in place is actually working. Yes.
Okay. That's explicit. Thank you very much. Mr. Isaac Timothy.
Hello. Okay, sir. I think in my organization we usually do carry out audit in my organizations. Well, I'm a military personnel. When we are carrying out audit, we are just trying to evaluate and find out individual personnel or soldiers that were actually present in the unit, you know. So those ones present in the unit the day of auditing are the people that you will evaluate. They are the people that are actually taken as a strength as soldiers. Those that are not actually present, you know, they are out of strength. So I would say that audit is a complete evaluations, you know, of projects that we determine.
Please mute your mic, Mr. Sunday, mute your mic.
Hello?
Mr. Precious, mute your
Okay.
mic.
Okay, so I would say that okay, so I would say that audit is a complete or total evaluations of total evaluations of the contract or project to really determine if line in terms of quality or in terms of quality or I would say or plan or plans as the case may be.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Can
you.
I add?
Go ahead, Mr. Rivo.
First and foremost, I want to disabuse our mind that audits is carried out to winch-on people. No, it is not.
Audit is what?
It's carried out to winch-on people. It is no. Yes, let's disabuse our minds. You know, when all this is carried out, they want to actually check whether there is compliance. Compliance in the job we are carrying it out. Because if there are no compliance, it means that the goals and targets will not be achieved. Just as I said before, it implies that we begin to do the work. And once the work is being done, at what expense, to whose expense when you begin to do the work, if you are in the fabrication industry? So audits will come up to say, this thing you are doing, you are not doing it right. This is the way to do it right. You know, when you carry out a quality audits, yes, quality audits, QAQC, when they come, what are they looking at? It is assurance, quality assurance. We talked about grade and standards. We talked about grade and quality. Are you doing it according to specification? Okay, let me see your drawing. They say you should use an electrode of 316L stainless, but you are using 309. So it's there to check you. It's a checkmate thing. It's there to check you so that you will not go outside the scope. You do everything that is specified. So that's what audit is all about. It's checking you whether you are compliant. You are in compliance with what you are required to do. And if not, what is the root cause? Why are you doing that? Oh, we don't have it. That's why we are using. No, don't do that. So the root cause analysis will be determined so that we know how to nip it at the bud in the nearest future. Of course, it's a learning point. So since there's a learning curve, we say, okay, next project, please let's get everything in place so that we'll not repeat what we did before. So that is how audit is being carried out.
Thank you very much.
I think
Thank you. Yes, sir. You've said fantastically well. Thank you. You know, back then, as a management student and as an accountant, you know, the way we define audits, you think as if maybe is one kind and difficult thing that people should be scared of. They say, audit is an independent examination of a comprehensive analysis of the true financial position of an organization to show what's happen now. All this one is just just a summary of saying that audit is an examination, an independent examination of the true position of things within an organization. Simple. Like Mr. Rivo said, people always feel that whenever you talk about auditing or audit, you are going to expose somebody. I'm not coming to expose you. If you are doing something right, why should you be afraid of being exposed? I have been involved in auditing work for about 10 years. Sometimes you go to an organization, once they hear that auditors are coming, you will begin to feel their heartbeat, even from your house. Why are you disturbing yourself? Why is your heartbeat so pumping so fast? Have you done anything that you ought not to have done? It is only the guilty ones that will be running helter-skelter. We are not coming to open or expose you. The function of the auditor is just to have a comprehensive, unbiased, and independent assessment, evaluation, analysis of what you are doing to ensure that there is compliance to standard, to regulations, to ethics within the confine of that organization. And if you are doing anything otherwise, we can then make recommendations. In our findings, this is our audit report. You are doing a whole lot. You have achieved this. You have done this. Kudos to you. Your organization is really keeping, on track. But our suggestion, we will recommend that going forward, this and this and this and this should be put in place. That is our work. Past that, it's not enough for you to go and be taking BP tablets because auditor is coming. The only people that do that is the finance, people that are working in finance. When they would have stolen a whole lot, auditor has come. That's when they will be giving you a cup of tea 10 times in 5 minutes. Hey, what do you care for, sir? Hey, what do you care for? I don't care for anything. I care for your financial report. That's all. So part of quality planning, quality execution is an audit. Let us even have an independent examination, independent assessment. Now, audits can be done within and outside, external and internal. Mr. Rivo can audit me to see if I am in line with what we have set on board. If I have deviated, if my department, if my team members are doing what they are supposed to do. As a senior personnel in the organization, Mr. Sunday can audit my department. Will I not be afraid because we have personal issues within us? We're having grudges. Now is the one to audit my department. I'll begin to shake. Hey, this guy has come again. he has come to witch hunt me. I knew it that he doesn't like me. If the management says, okay, Mr. Gabriel, we've discovered upon the audit report that X and Y was not done. Hey, you see, I knew it. Mr. Sunday, he doesn't like me. Why wouldn't he write all this? He's writing it because he doesn't like me. No. He's just writing based on his findings. He's not witch hunting me. Far from it. And then we have external auditors, people that we can outsource the auditing work to come in. Okay, Mr. Sunday knows me. He can bring about sentiments. Now my party, after work, we usually go and collect two bottles. Collect this. I will not have seen this, but guy, you know what? I'll cover you up. I'll cover you up. Nothing. But an independent examiner from outside will come in and give you the true position of activities, the way it is, unbiased. Who are the people that benefit from this audit? You, as a project manager, number one. Because your eyes will now be open to the things that you ought to have requested from the management that you did not request. The tools that you ought to have requested that you did not request. The materials that you ought to have, but you did not request. Your eyes are open. There's possibility that this project work would have taken the actual amount of people needed for this project work is 20 personnel, but you only manage 10 and you are suffering and smiling. The auditor has now come. He's recommending it that in the next project, it should be 20. Have you not been relieved of some of the stress? The answer is yes. So you benefit from the audit report. The stakeholders equally benefit from the audit report. Every other person benefits from the audit report. So, audit report is very important as far as quality management is concerned. Once, let somebody be subjected to audit. What you can see as an individual is less than what 10 people can see because they see differently. It's very important that we bring about what? Audit into our quality. Then we talk about quality assurance. What is quality assurance? Anybody? Quality assurance. Anybody? Quality assurance. You can just tell me quality assurance is to assure you of quality, Abi. But as a professional,
quality assurance you.
Okay, go ahead.
Quality assurance is just quality assurance to me. I think is just to show that the project actually will withstand the test of time after completions. I think to my own.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it means.
Okay.
Hello.
Adesinola, we can hear you.
Yeah, so quality assurance just means that's assuring like the product delivered to the customer is okay and meets the required standard.
Okay. Okay.
Quality assurance simply means the assurance or the ability to ensure customers or clients that products or services could stand the best of time.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other person? Quality assurance. Yeah, we've all contributed well. It's just that confidence. It's just that confidence that you are giving to a customer, your stakeholder, concerning the project. And for you to be able to give quality assurance, you must have also acknowledged the fact that the project has undergone quality assurance process, that the quality assurance department had certified the project fit for use and it can stand the test of time. That is what quality assurance is. So, like prior to, I think the development of ISO 9000 series, yeah, prior to the development of ISO 9000 series, there were activities that described, quality planning, which included quality assurance. That there's nothing that you do, no project that you do that should stand without having your ISO certified. And once you have that ISO, it shows that your product, your project has quality assurance, without which it cannot fly. Quality assurance is not something that you go to Mushi and someone will just type it for you and you collect and you stamp that it has quality assurance. No. Sometimes different set of people come in to conduct the audit that we talked about. It is upon the completion of the audit that you can now be issued certificate of what? Quality assurance. If comprehensive audit is not conducted, there's nobody that will issue you that certificate. Different bodies will come in. Why are they doing this? They want to ensure, they want to assure, they want to reassure the stakeholders of the integrity of the project. They carry out integrity tests. They carry out conformity tests. They carry out quality assurance tests. They carry out material tests. It is not a small thing. Imagine if you are given the contract to build Fort Mainland Bridge. So you think you just build it like that and everybody will start applying the road. It is not possible. You'll be subjected to both local and international tests, assessment, audit, to ensure that your project can stand the test of time. Even if after maybe a given period of time, there will be need for reinforcement, for maybe for simple jobs to be done, but it cannot be as though starting from the scratch. For example, the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, Nigeria, was in 1980, yeah. Up till today, it's still standing. Why? They trusted the engineering company. Julius Berger constructed 1980 to this time. How many years is that? That's about 42, 43 years, 44. The Third Mainland Bridge is still standing. It went through integrity tests. Julius, how long will this project, will this bridge stand before we can think of having any maybe patchwork, reinforcement work, or what have you. Okay, we give you our word that it will stand uncompromised for about 25 years. And it actually stood. That is what we are talking about. The fact that you can give me your word doesn't mean that I should trust you just like that. Yeah, I trust you, though. Yeah, I trust. But at the same time, for the benefit of the stakeholders, we need to carry out an independent examination of the project work done in order to know. That is what quality assurance is talking about. Everybody must comply with ISO 9000 as they had then. Now, in 2024, there is another rules of engagement by ISO. How many project managers even understand any of the standards set by ISO? How many of the project managers? How many of the project managers even understand the standards set locally? How many of them? We must ensure that that is done. Okay? So we talk about quality control. Quality control. Miss Ruth, okay, pharmacist Ruth, what do you understand by quality control? What do you understand by quality control? Any other
Quality
person can, okay.
Okay. Quality control, I will still refer to my field.
Yeah.
These are a measure taken to monitor and processes and products to ensure they meet the required standard analytically. By analytically, I mean that is carrying out laboratory tests on products and processes to ensure that they meet the required standard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are just trying to, have a total grip, a total control of specific projects results to determine if we are still in line with relevant quality standards. Is any department deviating from the standard? Is any team member deviating from the standard? That is what quality control is all about. Before you go too far, hey, we have noticed that you are about to deviate. Come back. The way you are running, if you run, if we don't have our eyes on you, you even run above your shadow. Slow down a bit so that you can maintain the standard. That is what quality control is all about. And there are in some organizations, there are departments exclusively carved out to perform quality control activities. That is just their own major assignment. Your responsibility is, this is the preferred standard. Your role is to go around to ensure that every person, every department meet up with the standard available, no deviation. There are departments like that. Quality control, quality assurance department, quality analysis. They play different functions, but all of them are quality. One is to analyze quality. The other one is to control quality. The other one is to give assurance of quality. Right? So basically, that is what quality control is. And you can decide to use a tool such as inspection is a tool for quality control. As a quality control manager, you come to the office, you sit down, enjoy the AC, getting busy on social media. You are not going out, you are just there. How will you know if they are conforming with standard? So one of the tools and very important tools is inspection. Once in a while, go out unannounced. Go see for yourself, what are they doing? Are they complying with standards? Are they complying with safety? Don't just sit down, inspect. Once you go out, you have the true picture by yourself. We talk about control charts. We talk about control charts. We talk about Pareto diagram. These are the tools and techniques that you can use in order to do what? Have your quality control. You can even think about something like sampling. You can think about sampling. Instead of you to have, the total material, you can decide to have the fragments of the material for test. That is sampling. You have fragments from here, you take from this department, you take from this department, you take from this person, and you are able to conduct your compliance test. And it gives you the result, and you know if they are conforming or not. You can decide to use flow charting as well. You can equally decide to use technical performance. You can use trend analysis. Your trend analysis is a system of using mathematical techniques to forecast the future outcomes on historical results. Using your mathematical techniques, right, to forecast. In the last 5 years, these were some of the products that fell to under non-conformity. In the next 2 years, all things being equal, what are the yardstick? What is the guarantee that we will not have as much as we had in the last 5 years? Because of what? The current trend. Because of the current trend. So trend analysis is sometimes used to monitor. Trend analysis is like a reoccurrence of effect activities. In this organization, we discovered that the number of projects that does not pass the ISO standard is alarming. If we continue this way, what is the guarantee that in the future it will not triple? That is what the trend analysis is talking about. We talk about the cost and schedule performance, how activities per period were completed with significant variances. For every of the phase of the project, what were the variance? Right? What were the costs attributed to that phase? Does that cost, or can that cost be translated to standard or quality? That is what cost and schedule performance, right? So the output from quality control is quality improvement, acceptance decision, completed checklist, and process adjustments. Like we said, we cannot pay less premium on quality. If you want to stand out, prefer quality. If you want your integrity upheld, work on quality. If you want to be a household name as far as project is concerned, work on quality. In the industry today, if you are talking about construction companies, there are few that you cannot do without mentioning their names. Why? They have created, they've carved a niche for themselves over years. And that niche, the quality speaks for them. Even after 20, 50, 100 years, it speaks for them. That is what they've, they've worked on over years. Can you, in construction industry, can you mention 5 construction companies without mentioning Julius Berger? Without mentioning Krenberg? Without mentioning Kappa and their battle? You can't. Why? There's something that they are doing that others, we have over 1,000 construction companies now, but how come their names are not mentioned? Oh, somebody said these ones are international, they are known everywhere. No, you can also work your way to the international scene. A local that knows what he's doing can work his way to the international scene and stay there. We have so many artists in Nigeria today, local artists, millions or thousands of them. How come it's just a few that you can be nominated for Grammy? How come? Because they have done something that others are not doing. That is it. So for every project manager, I bring to you the news about quality. Your quality knowledge will reflect on the quality of personnel working for you. It will reflect on your choice of suppliers. It will reflect on your choice of contractors. It will reflect on how you are able to communicate with your stakeholders. That's talking about communication management. It will reflect on how you are able to manage your stakeholders. It will reflect on how you are able to utilize and manage your human resources. It boils down to what? To quality. How well do you embrace quality? How well do you prioritize quality? The ball is in your court as a project manager. Any question, any contribution, any shared experience, ideas as far as quality is concerned? You noticed, you observed, or you were part of it. Oh, we took quality into action, and these were the results we got. We jeopardized on quality, and these were the resultant effects. The floor is yours. Anybody, please. Anybody? Are we together or the rain assist our voices?
We are together, sir.
Okay. Any experience from you? Any suggestion? Any advice to your fellow professionals as far as quality management is concerned? As an experienced erudite that you are, Mr. Sunday.
Okay, thank you so much. First, let me say a very big thank you to you. At the first instance of this today's lectures, I was like thinking in the maybe between 1 hour or two, we should be able to round up. But it really amazed me that not up to an hour into these lectures, I could see a very big change in your voice and in the strength at which you are communicating with. Thank you so much for creating time to put us through this today, even despite the fact that your health was an issue. But we truly appreciate you, sir. Basically, what I just want to share, I'm not working in the manufacturing industry, but we represent a manufacturer. My company will represent a manufacturer in Netherlands for Nigeria, excuse me, and for Africa. Basically, we are into a kind of product they call a shelving system. And I remember we had one of these projects with Supreme Court. It was an automated shelf whereby once you install, all you need to do is to program, and it gives you the results you expect. But somehow after installation, we noticed there was like an issue in the cost of programming those chips that enables the shelves to move, open and close and do whatever it wants to do. So we wrote the manufacturer in Netherlands, and what they did was that they had to recall serial those particular chips with their serial number, saying they had an issue with production, or they had an issue with those companies who manufacture those chips for them in Germany. So as a result of that little defect in quality, it resulted to my company having to lose more money in terms of cost of shipping and cost of clearing the other consignments we brought in to enable Supreme Court have their deliverables. So what I'm trying to say is that with just that little mistake in production and in quality, it cost us more, and like a setback, a project whereby you are able to complete within 3 months, we ended up spending close to 5 6 months on the project. So I just said I should share this my own little idea.
Wow, thank you so very much for that. Thank you, I really appreciate. Any other person? Mr. Orivo, our site engineer. Pharmacist Ruth, you want to say something?
No, sir. Not at all, sir.
Okay. Any other person? Any input, suggestion, shared experience? So we can call it a day. Any other person? All right. So in the absence of none, please permit me to call it a day today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your contributions. It was really an interactive session that we had, a very interactive one. If not that Mr. Sunday is going for a party, we would have continued, but I want to close so that he can go for his party for today. So with that, I say thank you and I see you next week. Over to you, MJB.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Friday. I never thought you would stay this long because you said you were not that strong. But I'm happy that you pulled through. Don't worry, health is returning back to you. Get well for us because you're our
Thank
top
you.
facilitator. I want to thank everybody,
you.
thank the participants for taking part today. We've come to the end of today's lecture. And I want us to have a lovely weekend, lovely Saturday, and a blessed week ahead. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to our world best.
Okay, bye.